Hello everybody, I'm KP sir, and as you know that I make videos on the content of social studies for history and political science standard 9th and 10th, and when you go to higher education I make videos for the subject known as economics. If you have not subscribed to my channel, then this is the right time to do so that you don't miss out any interesting videos which are useful to you. Today, I'm going to discuss about the paper pattern of 12th standard economics and how to crack it. The basic thing is students are not able to complete their paper on time, and that's what I'm going to deal today. So let's start. Yes, children. Now, when you talk about economics, it's not only that for 12th standard it is important. If you're pursuing a career in CA or ICWA. Let's take an example that we took chartered accountancy, we took ICWA, we took company secretary, or even if some people among you are going to do masters of economics. Now, whichever course you do, you have to crack questions which are based on economics. Especially you might be aware that in the last year, they included assertion and reasoning questions, right? So they basically form a very important part for all your further examinations now. So let's learn. We're going to learn time management and time management for economics. Okay. Now talking further, see, everything depends on your plan. And planning cannot be haywired. For planning, you have to give lots of thought process, right now. Now, exams are there. You know you have to attempt your exams. So you should plan and practice as per your plan. First of all, think. Think how much do you want to score? What score do you want in economics? We have seen children, those who score 95 and 96 on 100 in economics. First think, set your target. Then plan. Planning how to complete your paper. That is more important. How to complete your paper. After that, you have to manage. You have to manage the given time with the exact time that you take while attempting the paper. That is what is called as time management. And if you actually achieve that, there is no other option but to excel in your examinations or in your career. Okay? So don't think that planning will take away your half an hour or 1 hour right now. You will miss your studies. This half an hour and 1 hour is going to be so much fruitful to you for your future that you will actually ride the entire situation. I said you will be a rider in the situation. That means you will be performing much better than others, those who do not plan. Now, talking about it, first of all, you get an economics paper, which is for 80 marks. 80 marks. And you get 3 hours. I am aware that because of the pandemic, now, due to pandemic, you'll be getting half an hour extra. Am I right? Extra half an hour. Due to the pandemic, you're going to get an extra half an hour. Yes. Now, every board question, there is a warning. You can say there are instructions that all the questions are compulsory. And if you're planning to score more than 90%, but obviously you should not leave a single question as optional, ये नहीं आता है, मैं नहीं करूंगा. That's wrong. That's wrong. A student who is prepared never leaves a single question. He attempts every question. The most important I would like to put your attention on to is this. Wherever in your question, I would like to specify after question number 3. After question number 3 or even 2B distinction, if there are diagrams to be put in, you have to make your diagrams. There are questions based on laws. You have law of demand, law of diminishing marginal utility, where they ask you tables. You have to prepare tables for that too. Okay. And what we have been telling you right from 10th standard, even your 10th standard board exams, your teachers might have told you that never write the main new question on the same page. For example, if you finish writing your question number 1, which in our case are going to be 4 sub questions having 5 questions each. And suppose the last 2 questions, they took only 4 lines of the page. Leave that page. Do not start the main question number 2 on the same page where question number 1 has ended. Leave it, children. Leave that page. Start second question on a new page. You finished second question, for example, in 3.5 pages. Do not start from that half page third question. Go on to the new page. So new question, new page. I did not say new sub question, new page. I said main new question, new page. Now, I've just given you information about the objectives. They are going to ask you objectives of 20 marks, which are going to be on an average 25% of your total paper. 25% आपका objectives में पूछा जाने वाला है. And there are 6 types of questions, out of which any 4 will be asked to you. When I say any 4, there might be any 2 questions they might not ask. For example, if you are lucky, they will not ask you assertion and reasoning question. What are the type of questions? Let's fast have a look on it. You can choose the correct option. You know the options will be given to you in the bracket. You just have to choose the option and rewrite the entire statement. Okay? Or they might give you 5 match the pairs, 5 match the columns. Yes. In all the 5 sub questions, you have to find the exact pair and write the answer. Now in this, you have to remember. Now, for example, in first question, the answer is E. So when you're writing the answer, you have to write E over here. For example, the second question, the answer was B. So write B over here. For C, the answer was A. So write A over here. That is the way how you have to write. Or they might give you 4 correct, 1 wrong pair, and you have to just select the wrong pair, identify the wrong pair. So in the answer, you just have to write the wrong pair is. Write which wrong pair it was. For example, you find 5th to be the wrong pair. So write the wrong pair is 5th. The question jo bhi rahega 5th ka yahan par wo, and E ka question. That's all enough. You know how to do it. Correlations are the most simplest questions that you have to attempt. Again, with 5 marks. You have economic terms. You should go for this. 110% get full marks. Complete and rewrite the following statements. And this is the most important point, that is assertion and reasoning questions. I have a video and I'll be putting the link in this video. You can anytime revise assertion and reasoning questions. A quick revision for you on that is, if either A or R is false, your answer has to be from option A or B, guarantee. You cannot go to C or D. Agar A ya R false hai. If A is false or R is false, then your answer has to be from option A and B. And if both are true, then the answer has to be from option C or D. That's fixed. How to solve it? I've really made it very simple. There are 2 videos on it. One, if you want quick revision, there's a video on assertion and reasoning in shorts, or else there is another video full-fledged with a detailed explanation of an example near about 7.5 minutes. You can go through that video. I repeat, the link will be provided in the video, in this video itself. Now, second question is identify and explain the following concepts. And the change in the two syllabuses, previous and now. In the previous syllabus, they gave 100% options. Now they're giving only 5. That means आपको 3 लिखने हैं, but you have 5 questions. Out of 5, you have to write 3. Previously, they used to give 6, out of which you would attempt 3. That is how they have reduced the optional part for you. Okay. Distinction between the following. Now, please remember, while solving the distinction part, you have to minimum provide 2 points. Minimum 2 points to be written. Okay. If example will not be counted as an independent point, will not be counted as an independent point. Keep that in mind. If you are writing contraction and increase or decrease, then second point should be the diagram. That will put an impact, nothing else. Then you have answered the following questions, again any 3 for 6 marks. You have whether you agree or disagree with the following. You get 3 questions here. The per question weighted is 4 marks. Now, this is 5th question, has again been, because of the change in the syllabus, they are going to put some analytical questions. So this question, you will be able to answer only if you know the concepts in economics properly. They'll be giving you a passage, a comprehension, and there will be 4 questions based on them. So you have to read the passage and write the answers. Or they might give you some figure. For example, they might give you relationship between TU and MU. Understood? And on that diagram, they will ask you 4 questions. Or they might give you a backward bending curve, supply curve of labor, and 4 questions on that. So 5th question I would like to put on is analytical question. 5th one, and for this you require concepts. Concepts should be clear. Your concepts should be clear for this. And the last is brief. In this, you will get what are the functions of central bank, or you might get over here, let's say take an example, law of demand with assumptions, law of demand with exceptions, law of supply with exceptions, or write in detail the diminishing law of a marginal utility, or the relationship between TU and MU. What are the types of demands? What are the features of demands? What are the factors on which elasticity of demand depends? These are some of the questions. So I just give you a revision what type of questions will be asked where. Now here, children, they give you 3 hours, that is 180 minutes for 80 marks. So on an average, we are getting 2.5 minutes every mark. We have 2.5 minutes for every mark that we are fighting for. But then see, if you use 2.5 minutes completely, children, then our chances of scoring maximum marks will drastically decline. I don't think that a fill in the blank will require 2.5 minutes worth of time to be put in. Already you might have written many preliminary examinations, practice papers you might have solved on your own. So I don't think that you will take that much of time. And if you go strictly with this time management, then your chances of scoring maximum marks are going to fall down, because you require time for reading the question paper, You require time for making presentation in terms of diagrams and mathematical problems. You have to be very neat and tidy. And the most important point, nobody is guaranteed success if he does not evaluate himself or herself. So every student has to keep aside some time for checking the paper, the answer paper, I mean to say, after you finished answering it. So let's see now how the time management works. I've just made a simplified time management table for you. I think that would be very helpful to you. Talking about the question number one, which basically if you go through the time management of the question paper, you get 50 minutes. That's what is times at hand. You get 50 minutes. But as per me, you should take maximum 30 minutes. So you save a whole lot of 20 minutes over here. Similarly, question 2A and 2B are short questions, but there are certain times three points in those answers, and therefore you have to be a bit faster in completing your question 2A and 2B. I would suggest you to complete your question 2A and 2B in 12 minutes each. Thereby we save a total of 6 minutes on question 2. Question 3, if you go with the per mark 2.5 minute funda, you get 15 minutes. I would like you to finish it in 12 minutes, thereby save 3 minutes. Similarly, question 4, finish up in 21 minutes, thereby you save again 4 minutes over here. Question 5, you should finish up in 20 minutes which have been allotted in 16 minutes. Thereby you again save 4 minutes over here. And the last question, children, an 8-mark question, you will write maximum 3.5 sides of the fullscape or 4 sides. And I think 1 side of fullscape can be easily done in 3.5 minutes. Right? So even if you take 3 minutes, 3 fours are 12. I have given you 17.5 minutes per answer. For 2 answers, you can just take 35 minutes and thereby you save 5 minutes over here. So overall, if you go through this management, you can finish writing your entire paper in 138 minutes. You save 42 minutes over here. And I'm talking about 3 hours, children. You to have more 30 minutes, right? So you are in a driving seat already. Now, talking about here, out of this 42 minutes, you just have to spend your 10 minutes for reading the question paper thoroughly. Your selection of questions is very important. Which question you will be attempting, because always attempt questions which you are very confident of. Questions where you know the content very properly and you don't have to throw tantrums. Hindi में बोलो तो fakeology नहीं करना चाहिए. Tantrums का मतलब fakeology. Okay, so you should not throw tantrums in your answer paper. Support your question answers with good examples, with legitimate diagrams. And after you finish your paper, you can give 10 minutes out of this 42 minutes for checking your paper. Then too, you have 22 minutes on hand. Sir, then isn't this a stupidity we are just throwing away? No, it is not, because these 22 minutes can be utilized for anything which you find difficult to recollect or make last minute corrections. These 22 minutes, you can now for example, you get stuck up in distinction. Aapko point click hi nahi ho raha hai. Now I said there are 3 distinctions and you should finish up in 12 minutes. That means 4 minutes per distinction, but you get stuck up in a distinction. So, okay, instead of 12 minutes, you took 16 minutes over here. Where does that extra 4 minutes come from? That extra 4 minutes was taken from here. 4 minutes for distinction. So these 4 minutes you can give to question 2B from this extra. So that way you have to manage, and only proper time management will take you to that higher level. I hope I'm very clear about this, what I've taught you. And this is what I've given at the end of the video. You can go through your options. What is the weightage chapter wise? And you can see that your microeconomics literally rides you feel so, but it's not like that. Micro macro has been evenly distributed. Yeah, but the topics of microeconomics are simpler, at the same time they're lengthy. So when you attempt microeconomics, be quick in writing it. Do not waste time in overthinking it, or else you might end up not utilizing your time properly. Okay, and then you feel that stressed out, you know, that I've left my paper, what to do. As I initially said, your object is comprised of 25%. This is the percentage wise chart. What type of questions carry how much percentage of the total marks? And before I could wind up, there's a small suggestion from my side to everybody over here. And that suggestion is that if possible, after objectives, attempt question number 6, which will be briefs. After objectives, attempt question number 6. You are fresh enough, you will recollect it properly. It's a big answer. If it is done before time, it will actually be beneficial for you. So I request you, after your question number 1, that is 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, jump to question number 6. Try to finish off your question number 6 within 35 minutes. And if you really could do so, I can guarantee you your paper will be easily completed. I hope that this video would be beneficial to you all. You will follow my instructions, and thereby you'll be easily overcoming the fear of completing your paper on time. All the best, children. God bless you.